All right. Doing it live.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome to Life Off the Bench, where we discuss the real life topics to try and help you with the real life solutions to deal with everyday life issues that sometimes we overlook or just don't give it the love, attention, and care that it deserves. I hope everyone had a great Sunday. I know for me, it was a lazy daisy kind of day. Really long week. I thought that I did a great job today of just doing nothing. Sometimes you just got to do nothing. Wow, you know what? That's a great way to segue into tonight's topic. Humanness, humaneness. Let me make sure I want to read this to y'all, right? Y'all know sometimes I be tripping. So I want to make sure we get it. I want to give it to you the right way so you don't get it the wrong way. Humanity, respect for humanness and or self-care. Y'all caught that? I'm gonna give y'all that again. Humanity, respect for humanness, humaneness, and self-care. And we're gonna start off by doing this. We have some stuff that we're gonna give you today. We got a really long video that we'll get to at some point that I'm gonna play for you guys so that you can listen to this. I thought it was really insightful, the video that I found, and I think it's gonna help some people. I really think it's gonna help some people, and I'll give you the site to where you can go and find it on your own. And yeah, that's about it. So, hey, I want to start off. I was asked this question: did you make that word up, or was that is that a real word? And so, vocabulary.com tells us humanness is defined as the quality of being human. I'm going to repeat that for you. Humanness is defined as the quality of being human. Man, and I think that speaks for itself. It may just, we have they'll be introducing themselves in a minute. So you know what? Let me just stop and do that before I have went too far into the first segment, and I'll be done over, let my mouth write a check that my behind can't cash, because they're the specialists, they're the experts, and we're gonna start off in the top right. Go ahead, say something. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're looking like anime tonight.
Yeah.
you are looking like anime. She always, my grandmother always wore her hair with that auburn blonde. Since you killing tonight, rocking that auburn blonde, I gotta tell you, looking beautiful, chick.
Thank you. Yeah.
Set you back some years, huh, Hobart?
Yeah, man. I'll cry in a minute too, so I gotta stop talking about that.
I guess I'm the lone wolf tonight, so I'm gonna let him have his way tonight, because I'm outnumbered. But I am the one and only April Gibbs. I am elated to be a part of this podcast, to say the least. Mother, I was messing with Chad talking about he's an educator, but I think we all educators in our own rights, just not in the school system. A vet, proud Navy vet, minister of the gospel. You know, what more can I say? I'm my grandmother's child.
Definitely are.
My name is Chad Wilson.
Yeah, that one. My bad.
My name is Chad Wilson. I'm a educator of 22 years. This is my 22nd year in education, hailing from the Baton Rouge area in Louisiana. I'm just happy to be here.
Bottom right.
My name is Alfred Collier. I am located in Chicago, Illinois right now. I am a mentor, founder of the Roots Mentoring Program, and I have a master's degree in criminal justice. And I don't have to tell you, you can see I'm a huge fan of the champions, of the NCAA champions, football champions, Georgia Bulldogs. And now I'm rooting for my Pittsburgh Steelers tonight.
That's what's up, man.
This is a topic and subject that I'm really looking forward to getting into. Thank you.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Hey, that's our panel. This is like almost half of our panel. They're geniuses in my eyesight. When you go and you educate yourself in life with knowledge, and you couple that with the word of God, that makes you a genius. And these three young people on the panel, one is the ordained minister, the other is headed to be an ordained minister, and the other one is a very active deacon within his church's ministry that does a lot. So I'm really proud that they think enough of me to share every Sunday with me. So thank you guys. I wanted to get that out the way. But now back to where we were going. When we talk about humanness and the quality of being human, you cannot not think about being a good person. For me, when I think about humanness, humaneness, the first thought that comes to my mind is, well, in order to be human, you got to be a good person. And maybe it's something wrong with you if that thought doesn't enter your mind and your heart as well. Because good people want to spread good things. And that's where we are here tonight. I want to let the panel give their thoughts. April, you can go with self-care. Chad, you go with humanity. And Alfred, you go with your version of humanness in your own words. And we'll start off with Alfred.
All right. When I think about humanness, I think about compassion. Compassion, treating people the way you would have them to treat you. It's just as simple as that. And human is we all need each other. We're humans, and we all, not one of us can do this thing alone. We all have brains. We all have a part in this humanity. So the understanding that I have is that it's hard when you see how humans have pushed each other apart for greed and other self-achieving things instead of a group or achievements for the whole. I think it's very important that we understand and realize that we're all in this thing together, and that we should always, in every chance we get, to assist and help each other.
Chad.
So when I think about what is humanity, the first thing I did is went to the dictionary and see what it says, and it says the state or quality of being human, or the state of being kind to other people. So as it relates to being human, it's what separates us from being animals. Because I think that's that animals are primal or whatever. So as Alfred said, uh, it's showing first that we can think, and then two, that we can be kind and compassionate and treat others like we want to be treated. That's what it means to be human.
April.
So the dictionary lists self-care as being defined as the process of taking care of oneself with behaviors that promote health and active management of illness when it occurs. Self-care is a daily process. Self-care deals with mind, body, and emotions. The will, the mind, the body, and emotions. And as humans, we have to learn how to commit to daily self-care. As a humanity, a human race, we have to learn how to commit to self-care, and that's to help others. Um, Alfred said it perfectly. One of my life mottos is I live by the characteristics of I treat people how I want to be treated, and it's not predetermined or predestined upon how they treat me. I want to be treated right, so therefore I'm going to treat you right. Self-care brings about a lot of emotions in people, things that we tend to overlook daily. And when we don't exhibit or practice self-care, we tend to have what we call emotional breakdowns, mental breakdowns. Sickness occurs because we are not properly taking care of ourselves as a race of humans, as a group of people, as a shared collective process. So self-care in our society is something that truly needs to be discussed and nurtured into our way of life.
Man, great thoughts of what you guys define those meaning as in your own words. It's really important that we express those thoughts, feelings, so that they can turn into actions, and then we can try to better help this life thing that we do every single day. Because really, I said this to you guys before we went on live. Self-care is a version of, say it with me, guys, mental
Mental health.
That's what self-care really means. Being humane is a way that you can keep your mental health on a great plane. Now, I ain't talking about the plane that you getting in to go from state to state or country to country, the plane that keeps the playing field level when you have issues that you're dealing with. So, in this process, what are some of the things, and everyone can expand on this if they like, when we talk about self-care, what are some of the things that you guys look to, if not on a daily basis, a weekly basis, to help you guys out?
I know one of the things that I'm a health and physical educator. I've been a health and physical educator for 20 years. And so when we teach health, one of the first health lessons we talk about is the health triangle. And the health triangle consists of this equilateral triangle that encompasses physical health, mental, emotional health, and social health. And when all of these, if you think about the triangle, if they're equal in size, you've achieved what we call balanced health. So, and whenever you have balanced health, is a term we use called wellness. You're well. But some people don't realize when one of those three elements are out of whack, then it affects the other three sides. I'll give you an example. My father had kidney disease. My father was at one time was a very healthy man, a very productive man, and all. And so when his physical health became an issue, it played on his mental and emotional health. And because he had, was easily agitated and everything, socially he became, his social health kind of dwindled a little bit. Now, and sometimes we are all not well, but the thing that we're trying to do is to jump back or try to achieve this balance. And so I think if we understood what health or balanced health is and try to, to recognize, hey, look, I'm not physically well. So, hey, I'm a little agitated right now. So I don't want to snap at you. I don't want to, as it relates to the social health, if you could understand how these things kind of coincide, then it would be a lot easier or to go back and to achieve, balanced health. So I think if we can understand that, on a surface level, then I think, too, we could get back and achieve this wellness that we all want.
All right. Okay, we lost April, but we gained Shapri. Shapri, right now we're talking about self-care and what each individual does on a, if not a daily basis but a weekly basis, or whenever we have time, what do we do to help with self-care for us individually? And I'm going to give you a chance to ponder that, and we're going to let Alfred go.
Yes, when we're discussing self-care, from what I understood in my research and time, is that you have to consider everything when you're doing self-care. You have to consider your diet, your physical health, your mental health, and your spiritual health. All of these are self-care. And self-care means to take time out for yourself. Even though you want to do well, you want to assist others, which is a good thing. You want to assist others in all times when you can, but understand very well that you have to take care of you first to be able to take care of someone else. So take care of yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually first, so you can be in a place to assist others. And I think that's one of the hardest things for us to do, because we get caught up in how much stuff we have to do. We make this list of stuff every day when we wake up. Man, I got to get this done. I got to get this done. I have to get this done, right? And we never take the moment or the time out to take care of us, to just take a moment to appreciate what God has done for us today, to accept that we need assistance. We might need to call someone and talk to them and listen to what they, and let them have them to listen to us sometimes. So that's my advice. My advice is always try to take time out for yourself. Find some time for yourself, mentally, physically. Go to the gym, do at home. Just take time to do. You can do agility things right at home. Push-up, sit-ups, read a book. Just take time to yourself. If you get nothing else out of this conversation tonight, I hope you remember to take time out for yourself. Thank you.
Shapri, did you get a minute to digest your thoughts on what you do for self-care, or should I go and give you a few more minutes?
Oh no, I'm good on it. For me, self-care is meditating. I journal, not daily as I should, but I do journal throughout the week just so that I can reflect and figure out how I could have handled things different for my mental satisfaction. I, just be my own worst critic and just correct the things that I need to correct. Of course, hygiene. Of course, that's first on the list. Of course,
Wow.
I'm pretty much a healthy eater for the most part. I have my snacks here and there, but I try to watch what I take in, especially as I get younger. Um, and that's just it. I take time to read books, enhance my knowledge. Um, self-care for me can mean a number of things. Sometimes it's just sitting in the car, just taking a breather, just to give myself time to just really relax and without all the chaos. It could be getting a pedicure every now and then. Just different stuff to take time to make yourself feel good and have a mental check, a spiritual check, as Alfred said. Just a check on all levels to ensure that you're not falling apart.
Hey, y'all don't even know how inside I'm doubled over with laughter by one of the terms she uses, self-care. Hygiene, like I call myself the king of hygiene. Like I don't even feel right, man, if I don't brush my teeth and wash my hind part and stuff. Like I thought that was just every day. But so now I'm gonna add one dot wash your butt or washing my butt to my self-care list. I absolutely love that. I think that is so phenomenal. But some of the things that I do to help me with my self-care and help rejuvenate and or re-energize me is I can't play the game anymore, but I still like, when I go in the gymnasium or something, I still like to get shots up. I'm a big music fanatic. Like I absolutely love music. People that know me know when they see me, they're gonna see either one AirPod or both AirPods in my ear, and I guarantee you they're not just in there to be in there. It's the music being played, and it's a wide range of music. And I especially like to partake in some gospel. I really love the old school gospel, Marvin Sapp, Donnie McClurkin.
That ain't old.
Right.
That's
middle age.
Huh?
That's not old school.
Hey,
old school.
Like,
Mahalia Jackson, Sir Shirley Caesar, Dorothy Norwood.
Like they got some age. They got some age under them though in the music game.
No, they
not the same age as you.
Not like that.
Hey. In the music game though, they've been doing it a long time. I'm not gonna let y'all be playing on my top either. Don't do that.
You know what I say to that, but okay.
Hey y'all.
Exercise is always good.
Hey, so Another thing that I really like to do for self-care is, and I don't even know if she knows this or not, but if I've had a really tough day, if I've had a really harsh day,
You want me to
I really love to call my sister and just chop it up with her, and she's always gonna make me laugh. She always has, a cool joke to tell me, and so that inspires me to be greater, better.
I would say I think that's one that I left out. Laughter. I love to laugh.
So let me tell y'all, self-care for me is all of that. I gotta have peace. I gotta have laughter. Like a lot of times you hear ladies say they go into the nail shop. It ain't even because I want to go get my nails done and look pretty. That's just relaxing to me. I'm gonna go at least twice a month to the nail shop, get my feet done, my nails done, and I'm gonna sit in the chair and I'm gonna laugh at the people say because I go to the Asian spot and they don't think that I know they talking about us. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's part of my self-care process. I listen to music all the time. And a lot of times I listen to the same music over and over again on repeat. I do a lot of meditation and prayer. I start my day off with meditation and prayer because I feel like that's going to give me the go of how the rest of my day is going to be. I have healthy conversations and relationships with other people. That, like my brother says, he calls me, he be laughing at me, but I be laughing at him. So see, I guess it's a two-way thing. Relationships with family and friends. Sometimes wait a minute, I got to call Chad. No, you can't talk to Chad like that. That's my friend. Chad, my friend. We argue about his friends that be my friends through him. But you gotta have like some kind of happiness within your own self in order to even exhibit or begin self-care. I know on one episode we talked about that. Anise said, "Going to get your hair done and that is not self-care." She said, so let me put that out there for Anise. But whatever it is that makes you happy in the process of getting your mental, physical, and emotional well-being together, utilize that as your self-care to take you to the place of peace, calmness, where you need to be able to manage yourself. And I heard him say when I came back in, that morning ritual, wash your face, brush your teeth. I had a girlfriend, she used to take about 3 baths a day. I was like, girl, now they don't take that many. How many? But for some people, that's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, because sometimes it's just relaxing. And sometimes that hot water relax you,
Exactly.
It just depends. But you said you meditate at the beginning of the day.
Right.
I meditate at the end of my day. Only because I want to be at peace when I get ready to lay down. I don't want all of that on my head, on my top, as you say.
Get that off your top.
say y'all. I wanna share something with y'all real quick. So the comment you see on the screen right now is from one of our panelists, and she's like, for her not to be here in person, it must mean something's wrong. But these kind of conversations and topics mean so much to her. From her sick bed, she's enjoying the show as well. So we want to say hi to one of our panelists, Anise Adams Collier. I envision her saying that in my mind and in my heart, so I had to hit that Collier. She'll get on me for that later. But right now we need to do this. All right, we need to do that. And y'all give me 1 second, and I'm about to do something else. If I can find it. Hey, y'all just bear with me for 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to get to the beginning of this, It's like a 6-minute video, but at the end of the day, it's worth it. It's worth it. So let me get to the beginning of this. I don't want to start it out of whack.
Actor, observer, asymmetry.
That ain't right.
You assume they're a bad person, but evil by
Right
nature.
here, right here. This is the start. Can you guys hear this?
We make harsh assumptions.
Yes.
When someone does a bad thing, you assume they're a bad person. But when you do the same thing, you blame your environment instead of yourself.
I'm muting y'all. Just give me 1 second.
Observer, asymmetry. The same thing. You blame your environment instead of yourself.
I'm muting y'all. Just give me 1 second.
Observer, asymmetry. The same thing. You blame your environment.
You on mute, so we can't hear you.
Points out there. However, according to a study by Lord and others, humans are too narrow-minded by nature. If someone presents us with sound evidence, we're likely to ignore the facts and stick to our original point of view. Number 4, we believe in justice.
Let me start over.
Is
Like
the
we
world a fair
missed
place? The facts
so
say
much
no.
of this because
Human
I
nature
made
says yes.
a boo boo.
3, we ignore facts. What's the assume they're a bad person. But when you do the same thing, you blame your environment instead of yourself.
I got about
This is
10
called
seconds to
actor,
rewind.
observer, asymmetry. And it's
I thought I had this set. All right, here we go. Starting over for one.
Assumptions. When someone does a bad thing, you assume they're a bad person. But when you do the same thing, you blame your environment instead of yourself. This is called actor, observer, asymmetry. And it's a fundamental part of human nature. We make false attributions about others while cutting ourselves plenty of slack. Number 2, we enjoy distress. Sometimes. Are humans cruel by nature? According to a 2013 study by Rudolph and others, humans relish the distress of other humans, but only if we think they deserve it. Imagine a supervillain getting beat up by a superhero. We enjoy watching this character suffer because they did something bad. But what if the villain was attacking the hero? We judge that hero as morally good. Instead of pleasure, we would feel anger or pain. So, yes, we do enjoy the suffering of others, but only under the right circumstances. Number 3, we ignore facts. What's the best way to make an argument? Most people think facts and figures are the most compelling points out there. However, according to a study by Lord and others, humans are too narrow-minded by nature. If someone presents us with sound evidence, we're likely to ignore the facts and stick to our original point of view. Number 4, we believe in justice. Is the world a fair place? The facts say no. But human nature says yes. As children, we believe the world is just and fair. The good are rewarded and the bad are punished. As you grow up, you learn that the world is more complicated than you thought. But you still believe life is fair in the end. When you see someone suffering, you convince yourself that they deserved it. You assume that all pain is warranted and all hardship is self-imposed. By nature, humans believe in a just world, even if the world isn't just at all. Number 5, we are empathetic. Humans are predators, sitting at the top of the food chain. But does that mean we're violent by nature? Our history is filled with bloodshed, cruelty, and war. But one biological discovery proves that humans are built to help each other, not hurt each other. According to a 2015 study by Lam and Majancic, the human brain contains mirror neurons. Mirror neurons are special nerve cells in the brain that instinctively activate when you share a feeling or behavior with someone else. Your mirror neurons connect you to the world around you and create a complex emotion called empathy. While humans can learn to be violent, empathy is ingrained within our nature. Number 6, we demand fairness. A 2008 study by Valdesolo and Desteno researched people who judge others. While they freely attack and shame other people for their mistakes, these people rarely pay any attention to their own issues. In other words, we expect the world to be fair, but we allow ourselves to be selfish. Number 7, we are stronger as women. According to a 2008 book by Dacey and Travers, one biological sex is actually stronger than the other. Men are typically taller and more muscular, but women have structural and biological advantages. Dacey and Travers explain that women are less vulnerable to defects and disease than men. Why? Because XY is a far more fragile pairing than XX. Despite what our society might say, women are the stronger sex by nature. Number 8, we hate being bored. Would you rather shock yourself or spend 15 minutes sitting in silence? In 2014, Wilson and others found that most people would rather shock themselves. By nature, humans search for any way to avoid being bored, even if that means hurting yourself in the process. Number 9, we search for balance. When problems happen inside your body, you naturally regenerate and stabilize. Your body is always trying to return to its natural state, a state of harmony and balance throughout the body. No matter what's happening, from physical injury to overwhelming stress, your body and brain are always searching for balance. Number 10, we are overconfident. Are you smarter than the average person? Most people will say yes, but they're usually wrong. People who think they're smart are often the least intelligent. This bias, called the Dunning-Kruger effect, is just one of the many different ways that humans overestimate their own capabilities. We do the same thing with morality, kindness, and trustworthiness. In other words, humans are overconfident by nature. 11, we are attracted to darkness. Why do we fall for mysterious people? Troubled and dangerous souls have long attracted people of all orientations. Think about traits like self-interest, insensitivity, and impulsiveness. These traits are strongly associated with severe personality disorders like psychopathy, but they're also considered highly attractive. 12, we are easily intimidated. Like many species, human leaders may gain power through intimidation. Humans naturally surrender to and support individuals who scare or overpower them. Even if a leader isn't right for the job, they may intimidate their way to the top. And number 13, we abuse anonymity. Have you ever wondered why so many mean comments are left online? Humans are generally ethical when we know someone else is watching. But when we become anonymous, we're more likely to betray our own values. Has human nature ever gotten the best of you? Do you think humans are naturally good or naturally evil? Tell us about your experiences in the comments below. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to Psych2Go for more psychology content. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you.
All right, guys, that was posted by Psych2Go. Credits are as follows: writer Tristan Reed, script manager Kelly Sung, VO Amanda Silvera, animator Clarice Lim, and YouTube manager Cindy Cheong. Man, it was that I know that was a pretty long video. It was, but I thought it was, in my preparation for the show tonight, I thought that had a lot of really good points in it, and we're just probably gonna go and see what you guys remember from the video, what you took from what you remember, and share with us if that's okay. Shapri, you want to go first?
Not necessarily, but I will.
Appreciate that.
One of the things I think stuck out to me is people think they're smarter than the average person. I can agree with that because oftentimes, right, oftentimes we do, and not before even getting to know a person and know what their field is or expertise is, a word that I used loosely. We tend to judge and think we just know all, and because of what we have experienced. But you never know the next person's experience, the next person's educational background, career level, anything of that nature until you actually get to know and communicate and converse with a person. So yeah, I agree with that one. And that kind of stuck out to me.
Okay, Alfred.
Yeah, thank you. Uh, what I took, well, I took more, but I'm gonna go with when she discussed Kruger's effect, how humans are attracted to the darkness, how we, and you see it when you're working with youth too, how they are attracted to things that's going on, how and it happens to adults too, but we don't see it. We don't see it ourselves, but we can see it better when it's kids. When kids see activity going on one side, they're all their attention is gone to that activity, whatever it's going to, no matter what, if it's good or bad. And I was just sitting here thinking about it when she was discussing it, how there was a syndrome called the Caveman Syndrome that I saw. I actually watched a YouTube on it today, and it was talking about how women were attracted to the guy, the bigger, stronger guy, and they didn't realize. And nowadays, how it has evolved into power as money now. So it's who got the most money, or the biggest, from the bigger, stronger guy to the money syndrome thing. So it's interesting to see how we evolve and don't evolve, as humans in our areas of growth. So the darkness part has always been with us, and I think it's going to always be with us. I think that's going to be the separator in the end. Is that how do we combat that? How do we relay the information of how to choose from the darkness and the light?
Great perspective.
Yeah, because I had
Chadwick. Oh, sorry.
let me add one more thing. I had read a quote, and it was like, "How you treat people is who you are." So when someone is trying to treat you bad, it's not you, it's them. So they're just showing you who they are.
Right.
And if we can consider that and take that without getting upset with them and holding that against them, we have to look at and realize, hey, that's them. They're reflecting their selves, not me. All right. That's all I want to say.
All right. Thanks, bro. Chadwick. Excuse me, real quick. We want to apologize for April. In the Atlanta area where she lives, I think they've had a little really bad weather, and so in her area, she keeps having power outages in the area of Georgia where she lives. So she texted me and said that she didn't know if she would be able to make it back on. We hope that she's safe wherever she is at home. On you, my guy.
So one of the things that the comments that was made that piqued my interest was the fact that we are inherently intimidated by others. And so, while that comment was being made, I was trying to thinking what would be the rebuttal to that. The only thing I could think of was the fact that, it probably is referencing the fear of the unknown. So think about a lot of situations that we come into, and we're not abreast of what's going on. So when we walk into the situation, quite naturally, we're intimidated until we find out what it is and what it's not. So I think there is some truth to that, in a sense that, we don't, as humans, we don't like to be caught off guard. We like to be prepared and abreast of everything that's about to happen. And when we're not, we come into a situation with a little apprehension, whether it's a job interview, or addressing maybe a boss, or as it relates to kids, kids coming into the first day of school, they don't know what to expect, so they become intimidated. So I think there is some truth to that statement. We are kind of inherently intimidated, especially when it comes to things that we don't know anything about.
Right. I think for me it was the very first one that really caught my attention, and that is the fact that if someone else does something, especially if it crosses us up or hurts our feelings, then they are just the most absolute horrible person on planet Earth. But then when we may do something similar, then we want all the kind of forgiveness that you can think of. Forgive my toe, my pinky toe, but forget that mole on the back of my ear. It didn't really mean to stick out. And so that's who we are as people sometimes. I think that for me, I think I may have lived in the 1920s before, because I'm a very big fan of Western movies and life back in the day, I guess you would say, because I enjoy seeing those type of shows where there weren't any lights, there weren't any gas, there weren't, the things that we become accustomed to in today's society. And you didn't hear those people complain in the movies that, oh, it was too cold, or, oh, we got to go outside and use the restroom. No, they just adapted, adjusted, and overcame to life of what their everyday life was. How will we react if we had to live in those conditions? How really will we react if we had to go through some of those things that they went through back then? And guess what? We're not that far removed from that.
Mm-hmm.
We're not far removed from those situations or situationships, as my sister Anise would say. She used small words like that with big meanings. So moving forward, how can we how can we process the part of humanity that makes us feel empathy for others? Go, Alfred, since you raised your hand. Look like you were asking to speak there. Oh, you was getting up in church or something? That's what that meant?
You called it.
Hey, AME.
So I have another one that's, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, if you're piggybacking off his question, you can go ahead, because mine is not that.
Yeah, so let Alfred answer.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was a conversation we had before when I was discussing criminal justice with you. I think it's a learned behavior, and it comes down to each and every individual in our communities, in our world right now, that we need to decide what type of world are we willing to live in? What type of world do we want to be living in? And we have to start teaching that type of world to our kids coming before they come out of our houses. We have to teach and show this humanity that we're discussing tonight. We need to be able to show them what it looks like when we interact with each other,
Right.
so they can see that I'm saying do what I say and not what I do. Hey, let's do it. Why not you do what I do? Let's give them that example, and I think that's where we have to start at. I mean, you see it in every aspect of our lives, politically. Like I said, as a parent, we see it. We see these people jump up and with their own self agendas, and then they take people the wrong direction, and they don't even care because they got these blinders on, and it's all about them.
Right.
And
Yeah.
So
And I think we need to teach them to understand their feelings and allow them to express their feelings. Because a lot of times we teach them not to feel or not to cry, especially boys. Men aren't supposed to cry, or you're not supposed to feel a certain way, or chuck it up and keep moving. So I think we need to teach them to understand their feelings and know that it's okay to feel.
Right.
I think too, I work in the school system and I counsel with a lot of kids, and I work in the discipline department as well. So, I spend a lot of time helping young people sort through and process a lot of different choices. And so when we talk about humanity in that sense, in that realm, when I talk to young people, I'm like, okay, uh, at the end of the day, well, in this school, we have a bunch of different people from a bunch of different backgrounds. But what is the one thing that we all share? We all are human beings, and we all have, the need to belong, to the need to feel safe. And how is your choice? How did your choice either infringe upon, or how did someone else infringe upon these needs? Just because a person is different, are they is it necessary for you to make them feel, or try to make them feel this way, or try to do something to them this way? Because at the end of the day, you ought to want to be treated, or treat others like you want to be treated. But I think the caveat to it all is not everybody operates on the same moral, with the same moral yardstick, you know. And so that's where, like Alfred said, it starts at home. We have to, at some point, if we want this world to be right, we all have to be on the same moral yardstick. So then everybody be on the same page with right and wrong. Will we ever get there? I don't know, because everybody's situation is different. Everybody, but I would love for us to achieve that, because it will make things a whole lot better. But or to come to some type of common ground as it relates to, what's right and what's wrong, or what's what level of human. It's like this. I'm gonna end with this. I tell kids, I say, at the end of the day, this: you're a human being, and I'm a human being. I'm gonna treat you, regardless to our differences. I'm gonna treat you with the level of humanity and respect that I want to. I'm not gonna treat you subhuman at all. No matter what I believe or I don't believe, you're a human being. You deserve to be treated the right, but with dignity and respect. And that's what that's what the premise of my office operates off of. Dignity and respect.
Right.
Well, I would
That's
like to add what Brother Chad is talking about, and Sister Shafri there. I would like to add that if we can just start with basic human rights, let's stop trampling over each other human rights. If we can start with the human rights, it is sad in this country that's supposed to be a country that came together under the auspice giving people, having freedom. But when you have a country where people basic human rights are being trampled upon or being limited, then I think that's where we need to start at. If we can do that as a country, acknowledging the fact that people basic human rights are being trampled upon, and work on those, I think that'll be a good start.
No doubt. No doubt. I got a question from our sister panelists, and each one of you can maybe touch on this. Question featured. Anybody want to take that?
Where is the moral compass? Or, you know, I think that's a loaded question.
It's really not a load. It's really not a loaded question.
No, not in that.
Question.
It's within us. It's within us. It's
Bam, there you go.
It's within us. It's what we are made up of. And like I said, for me, it's treating everyone with a certain level of dignity and respect, regardless to who you are, where you come from, what's your background, whatever the situation is. I'm going to treat you like a human being, like and then from there we could come to some common ground. But whenever dignity and respect is out the door, then we have no foundation in which we can work together. And I think it don't get any simpler for me than that.
So I guess for me, I think it's taught, and I think it's whether each individual tends to stray from it or not. It's pretty much distinguishing right or wrong. So it's a choice again. And we have to teach our kids more, grandkids, kids, however you want to word it. But we do need to embed it in our kids' mind what moral compass is. So if they don't understand it, they can't have it. If it's not taught, it won't be there. If it's not taught to not stray from. And I think we've all strayed from it in some capacity in at one point in our life. And we just tend to find our way back. So I think we need to teach our kids how to find their way back and as they become adults. Because if they're not grounded in that area, we won't have moral compass anymore.
I think it's not limited to the kids. I think it's a thing that all of us need to work on.
Yeah, it is.
If you're asking me, and it goes along with just when I brought up the fact that human rights are rights that is believed to belong justifiably to every person. So my thing is, if I feel some type of way when you say certain things to me, or you deny me an opportunity that you yourself know that you need, can you look at that as a human being, as an adult, as a child, and say, okay, do you know right from wrong? Where does those morals come from?
Right.
Okay, because as when Hobart said earlier about, we come from a different backgrounds, and I heard Brother Chad say it too, we come from different backgrounds and different places. So our values may be a little different, but the basic human rights we all have. I know I need air, oxygen, food. I need a place, a shelter over my head. These are basic things that, believe it or not, people are being denied right now today. People are being denied that type of stuff. So those basic things, if we can take care of those, we're on our way. I believe we're on our way. But we have to think of it from, we as individuals have to take on that responsibility. When we're in our daily walk, say to ourselves, before we make a decision, before we utter these words, think about what you're finna say. Think about what it is you're about to do before you do it.
All right,
And
y'all.
I wanted to comment one thing. When you think about moral compass, moral and then compass,
Mm-hmm.
I think of guiding principles.
Mm-hmm.
What are your guiding principles? Like what pushes you toward what's right and what's wrong? And that could be, whatever. Because in some people in some backgrounds, because of their uh, backgrounds, certain things may be considered right and wrong, so forth. So, like, I think about, in the school system, I have, different families from different ethnic groups, and different traditions and customs, more so traditions and customs. So one of the things that we may think Americanized, tradition may be one thing, but we may have someone from another country um, that are guided by different, customs or traditions. It doesn't make it right or wrong or whatever. Who's to say? But like Brother Alfred said, like whenever they infringe upon human rights, I think that's where we have to be unified in what these guiding principles are. I know Sister Anissa also said something that I wanted to touch on before. She was talking about modeling and examples. That's the other thing, modeling and example, especially I know for me in the school system, sometimes that modeling and stuff is not happening in the community. It's not happening in the, and sometimes maybe not even in the home, so because there used to be a time when the community modeled it and the home modeled it, and then and the school is modeled. So sometimes their first experience might be with certain principles may be in school, or or with a team or a group, a club or something like that. So we have to be conscious of those things. We need to be conscious of ethnic groups and traditions and all, and respect those things. However, we need to make sure that it doesn't infringe upon, basic human rights, because I think everybody deserves those things, dignity and respect.
And I think that's what I was saying as far as being taught, modeling taught, same thing.
Right.
But it's something as simple as, when we were growing up, we had to say yes, ma'am, right? But now they say yes. Well, no, they say yeah. To some parents allow them to say yeah. In our eyes, that might be the worst thing ever, because it's disrespectful. You didn't put ma'am or sir behind it. But today's kids, it's okay. Some parents are okay with it. So I think it's just what you're taught, and like I said, what's okay, what you stray from. Some people don't have moral compass because their parents don't have it, or they never experienced it. So it's just it could come from a number of things in different ways as to why it's lacking, and we need to kind of put emphasis on it in
I
all
think that's
areas,
where.
home, school, just in the neighborhood. Go ahead, cut that out. On the court.
I think Shapri is hitting on something there, and what happened in our society in America is that as parents, we have turned over our responsibilities to the government.
Yeah.
That's where we're at right now. That's where we're at. We're looking for the government to support them, to teach them, and tell them what they need to do and be, and that's allowed now. So that's what we're up against.
It's I can't think of her name, but she said that she made a comment where the teacher's scared of the parents scared of the government or the police or something, and kids are scared of no one. So they do what they want to do.
Yeah, that was the lady at the Black Expo.
Yeah.
That they had with
What is her name?
Michael Baisden and the other guy, Dick Gregory, and all those guys.
I can't think of her name. She has a book though. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Hey, y'all know I wasn't trying to interrupt y'all or cut y'all off. I like when y'all spit that really good knowledge. It's gonna help someone, if not today. As Pastor C.L. Taylor the first used to say at Morning Star Baptist Church in Grand Prairie, Texas, If you don't catch it today, you'll catch it tomorrow. And so some of the things that we say you guys might not get it today, but tomorrow it might hit y'all like a ton of bricks.
Man.
And you'll get what we're trying to give you. But we got to kind of change directions a little bit, because it's probably the part of the show where I just ask y'all random questions. Yeah, that's what we're at. We're at the part of the show I just ask random questions. First question is, how do you change the mentality of those that don't quite understand how being humane helps everyone in society?
Oh, okay.
Take it, anybody.
I think as individuals, first, we take it upon ourselves. We can't give up as individuals. We can't throw our hands up and say, oh, I tried. But we have to keep modeling, teaching. When we wake up, when I walk out my door, I got to present myself in a manner that states that shows that models or teach that. You know what I mean? So I think it starts there. And then I'll let the rest of the panel go take it from there.
Well, I think it starts before you walk out your door, because you have to start in your home. But it starts with self. You have to be that. You can't require it for someone else if it's not in you, because they looking at you like you're crazy. It's contradicting. But I do think it starts within your home first, because if you have kids, you have people looking at you or looking up to you, then you need to start there. But again, with self, showing, being what we expect, and that's just how it goes.
Good dude, go.
Well, I was gonna say the same thing, but just in a different way. Individual accountability. You can't require something of others that you don't require of yourself. So individual accountability is important. And then, I think about one of the old coaches used to say, how you gonna chop down that tree? And they talk about, chopping wood is just one swing at a time. So, teach one person one at a time, and then they'll end up being two, and then they end up being three, and then that person will teach someone else. But it starts with the individual responsibility, accountability.
And that individual accountability also is seen and is a responsibility socially also. Getting out to vote, going to your council meetings, because these are people making decisions about where you live, the activities your kids are going to be available to participate in, and just showing your kids how they can be part of the society that they're in a positive way. So not just when I say individual responsibility, I mean individually even in our social world, in our communities, in the world at large. So show your interest there also. Stay alert. Keep up as much as possible as you can, because things change. I mean, laws are made every year or every session they go into. You got different laws are made. So you have different at your local council meetings. They're spending your tax dollars on things that you might not assist you in no kind of a way. So you might need to go down there and find out what them plans are, and try to direct them back toward to where they need to be. So I say be active in your communities.
I want to say this real quick before I move on to the next question, and that is, if you had not taken your hind part to the Pittsburgh Steelers Baltimore Ravens game last week when we discussed political stuff, man, that would have been a great soundboard. Nah, just playing, man. Hey, happy birthday to brother Alfred, man. He celebrated his birthday last week, man.
Oh, okay. Happy birthday.
Shapri will be celebrating her birthday next weekend.
Yay.
So
Look, I had
crazy.
to celebrate my daughters this weekend. So
yes, happy birthday to little Miss Chloe.
Oh man, birthdays all around in that house. Birthdays all around.
And my grandson's birthday is on the same day as mine. So I just told him to start early.
Hey, y'all just bake one big cake.
Oh no, I don't share. That's my day. He start early. He cut off at 2.
So when I think about life, I want to know that the people that live amongst my, I can reach out and touch them, that in their heart, that there's no sorrow, no pain, no tears ever flow down their walls, right? How can we as a society of people and a society of givers be givers outside of our perfect little world? That means stepping outside of your box and being humane to other people, showing them that care, that love, that concern for them. Because we don't know, it may be times where people look okay. It may be times where people look okay on the outside, but on the inside, they're committing, they are having suicidal thoughts, or they are being physically or mentally abused at home, or at their home, wherever that may be. How do we step outside of our box and be more humane to help other people understand how being humane is a great thing? Alfred.
Okay. I think when I say I do a lot of charity work. So when I say when you say step out there like that, you can step out there, but be responsible. And I'm off the thing.
We can hear you,
responsible. Bro. And to start out, I would say go to I can't see myself. Okay, I would suggest that you go to your local businesses, organizations that's already set up. You can go to shelters, women's shelters, if you're a woman, and assist in something like that. Boys and girls clubs, Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, the Brownies, and Girl Scouts. I would suggest, if I was a person that was just getting started into doing something like that, go to a established organization first. Go to your church, your local church, if you have one.
Pick me.
Do some things in the community first, and then
pick me
as you learn and get
time. What if the church not doing that
under you, and you will be able to express yourself further.
Alfred Boyd, what if the church isn't doing anything though? What if the church is on this do nothing, doing nothing?
You asking me this question? Can I take it?
You want? Yeah, take that one.
Just there's enough entities around, in and around everyone's community, that they can find somewhere to do volunteerism. If it's not at your church, go to somebody else's church and be a part. I've never, me personally, I've never heard of any church that I've been affiliated with or known about that turns away volunteerism help. So there's always, like Alfred said, there's several different already established entities that do great work in the community. If you feel so compelled and you want to start your own volunteerism organization or foundation or what have you, you can do that too. If you have a specific platform that you like or that you want to be a part of, that does things to, show humanity to others, you can do that. There's so many places that you can go, and I can name a gazillion of them. I belong to a few. You could just, volunteer with your kids' recreation department. That's one of my things that I do. So there's a plethora of volunteerism opportunities, and also bring somebody with you. All right, that's a lot of people don't know that those type of things are available for them to be able to do and help with. So bring somebody with you when you go, or foundation or what have you. You can do that too if you have a specific platform that you like or that you want to be a part of that does things to show humanity to others. You can do that.
You can continue, Chad.
Like I said, there's several volunteerism organizations that you could be a part of. Go join one. I'm quite sure they have them all over everyone's city.
Shapri.
So for me, I think it's just each one teach one, teach the next person to understand and to be kind. And if you run into one that's not so kind, still display yours and it may rub off on them. If you are not comfortable with, going to an organization or a church, per se, then you can create your own. But if you're not confident enough to create your own and keep it going, start with one person, one family, one kid at a time. So again, like I said, each one teach one. Start in your neighborhood. Heck, it could be your next door neighbor. It could be in your own home. Just teach them. You have to teach. And, I do agree with Alfred, homeless shelter. You can start there. You can start by being a listening ear. And as April would say, provide a safe place for people, because that's always needed. A person has to feel comfortable so that they can open up to you and you can understand and you can start to help. If you can't help, try to find them help, guidance, direct them to the correct person that could probably help them on a more professional level if needed. So it's just a number of things. And like Chad said, a plethora of things in each city, state to start and continue. Get a group of friends together. Start with, heck, you might have to start with one friend because one of those might be the issue. So, just, each one teach one. We can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I had to unmute the mic. Oh no,
that might help.
Yeah. So, man, as always, I think we have the best group of panelists, whether the full panel is here or whether it's a partial panel. You guys rock. My final thoughts are as such, and I say this quite frequently because I believe it a lot. I believe in this message a lot. Lead with love. lead with love. It's always a great place to start, because when you lead with love, it leaves no doubt in what your intent is. And as we know about life, intent is everything. How I see what you do is called intent.
Mhm.
And we can't go anywhere if people don't understand the intent of why we're doing what we do. If my character is in question, I'm going to always go back and look at someone is always going to go back and look at the intent in which I did the things I did, so that they can see, well, maybe his character is good or maybe his character is flawed. And the only way that I can properly show them that not only is my character good, but my heart is good, my actions are good, and my motivation is good, is by what? Doing good. As I've told my kids their entire life, I'll leave this with you, and these aren't my words. You'll find them somewhere in a book. It says, do good and good will follow you all the days of your life. Not only will you be blessed, but your children's 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 children will be blessed, as many as the grains of sand by the seashore. And with that thought being ended, that's going to be our show for tonight, Life Off the Bench. We hope that it's our hope. It's our what? What's the key word for the night? Say it with me, intent. It's our intent that you guys gain something from us. Up next week, we'll be talking about finances. Now, you know what? We may pass on that since our financial expert may not be here with us.
Say expert, guidance, advice, maybe.
When you got that many years of experience, that kind of catapults you into.
I just don't want anybody saying it's my fault. That's all I'm saying.
Nah, they're not gonna. Miss Carr already told you it was his fault. Oh no, he said it wasn't his fault either. Dog, you got to be more careful. Got to be more careful. So if it ain't your fault and it ain't Miss Carr's fault, whose fault is it?
Yours, as they say, yours.
Hey, we just talked about humanity and humanism. And we're all in it together. If she's wrong, all of us wrong.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. Hey, I want to leave everyone with this final thought. And I know it's gonna be more people who understand this intent than don't understand it. And we're gonna leave you guys with this. Some of y'all not gonna know how to take this. I told you guys last week, don't talk trash, because your track record wasn't very good. And what do you guys do this week?
Nice.
Y'all get sent home. Shout out to all our Dallas Cowboy fans on Life Off the Bench. You are Donkey of the Day. Hey, thank y'all. Remember, get off the bench, get into the game.